Welcome back, tribe. So what you're about to see is a raw conversation between the private community. Hopefully you glean some good information from it. If you want to be a part of conversations like this, got some wisdom to share, or need a direction in life, links are in the description below. So what happened with the walks? Catch me up on all that.
Yeah, so the heel in the shoes,
Okay.
the walking shoes, wore out and essentially was like literally digging into the back of my heel.
Okay.
And from beforehand, I had remembered how I was barely able to walk any real distance in the barefoot shoes that I have,
Okay.
so it kind of demotivated me. And then one thing I forgot to tell you guys yesterday that I remembered, my phone screen broke, and so that made it hard to like deal with the watch. And
Mm-hmm.
essentially, I got thrown off and never got back on. So,
Okay. What about the
but
bike
I
though?
have been,
What about the bike?
yeah, I have absolutely no reason why I couldn't have done the bike.
Is the bike still in your room?
Yeah, it's still chilling.
Collecting dust.
Interesting. Okay. So you got demotivated. Was there any other external pressures happening?
Nothing more than
Yeah.
the melancholic life of living with your grandparents.
So everything was standard. Okay. So it has to be more than simply I dug a hole in the heel of my shoe because, like, okay, simple scenario for that is, well, you can go get some new heel inserts. Problem solved there.
Huh.
You know, they have some of those molded ones too that are a bit harder, not like the crappy foam stuff that comes in the shoe, but the actual inserts themselves are made of some harder foam that's impact resistant. So it's like you don't have to throw away the whatever $200 shoes, 150, whatever you spent for them. You just replace the heel and the shoe itself is fine. So it's like, okay, we have that option. Those are maybe $20 if they even cost that much. But then part two is what's up with the bike? Because the bike, I remember we moved it in your room and there were certain calls you were on where you were just mic muted on the bike. So how did you get derailed? I could understand the walking, like psychologically, I could understand that I don't want to mess my foot up and can't walk anymore, but the impact of the bike is zero. So how did,
Yeah,
can you
so
trace yourself on that one? Like, how did you end up there?
Yeah, so with my phone screen also getting cracked and me having to wait on a new phone coming in, technically I could still track the walk on the watch, but I couldn't track the bike because
Mm,
of the bike is tied to the phone. It doesn't have a screen on it, so
okay. Were you feeling demotivated because you couldn't prove that you were doing the exercises?
pretty much.
Okay.
And then I just never got back on once I got to the point where I could prove it again.
Right. Okay. So, all
But
right.
I do have the ability to prove it. I have my watch. I never
Of
lost the
course.
charger for the watch. I did for like 20 minutes there, but I found it. Got the watch charged, went on the walk yesterday. It's on the Garmin history thing for the community,
Okay.
1.36 kilometers. I was up to 10 kilometers every day for like a week there, so restarting back at base is obnoxious but expected.
Think of it like this,
Yeah.
dude. Look,
Yes.
you had already momentum going for you. What was holding you in check was the group itself. That the fact that we're doing the check-ins. So I'm starting to see just how important check-ins for guys are. I need to get back on doing check-ins to lead by example. But you are deriving the thing that we talk about from the book, the motivation from that dopamine hit of posting the proof. So you'll go through the entire process of walking out there, whether the weather's shitty or not, or getting in the kilometers to compete on the leaderboard to make sure that nobody in the group may be saying anything or keeping up with people in the group, being part of the group, right? The dopamine hit of the check I posted, nobody can say anything. And that felt so good that it overpowered, right? The misery you're feeling. But when you took away the proof of what you were doing, like your entire motivation collapsed. So we have to do this for ourselves first and foremost. You're leading by example for the rest of the people in here when you're posting the proof. It is not the end all be all of your entire journey. Whether you post or not doesn't matter. You have to think of it like this. This is what is demanded of me in order to become the man I'm trying to become. Me posting this to the group is simply showing everybody else the path I'm on and I'm committed on. If you miss a day or two, if you miss a week of posting, means nothing as long as you're doing it. You can catch everybody up. You can show us a month in of progress. Hey, I haven't been posting every day. Life's been busy, but I'm getting after it. You can still show progress. You don't need the dopamine hit every day, and you don't need to prove yourself to us. You need to prove yourself to yourself. Ultimately, this is a promise you have to yourself, because when the lights go out, when the computers turn off, when there is no internet, when there's none of this and you're disconnected from all of us, it's what you do in those moments that define you. And that's what we're looking at. It's cool that you're posting every day, but you broke, which is fine. You broke when the motivation waned, right? From not being able to post. Use this as a learning experience. Don't beat yourself up. Don't mope about it. It doesn't matter. It's fucking irrelevant. Move on. Next step is, okay, I managed to get up to 10 kilometers. I managed to do this every single day. That is far more progress than you've made in your entire life. And that was motivated by external factors. Let me switch the motivation to something internal. I'm going to do this again, start all over, but this time I'm going to do it for me. And then I will start posting. Switch the internal trigger you have. That imagination that we talk about, imagine yourself losing the weight, all this stuff, how you look perfectly at the end stage. You have to think about this stuff. The posting is like, man, not even second, third, fourth, fifth on the list. It's the feeling that you're deriving from the fact that you're going. And I bet you, I don't even have to ask, I can tell that probably mentally you were more stable and healthy. Physically, you felt the best, and all around your mood was lifted when you were doing these 10 kilometers, something you probably thought you would not do if I asked you 6 months earlier. Like, you would not foresee that. Was that the best you felt in that time that you were doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Overall? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
so you're already...
The diet was on check, the 10 kilometers every day for like just a solid week there. And it was, I went because I was planning on going up an extra kilometer every week. But at one point, I think I was at 7. And I was like, fuck it, let me see if I can do 10. I did 10, and I just continued to do 10 for like a week. And then the shoes wound up digging into my heel so bad.
Yeah. And there you go. And look, we keep going back to the shoes ended up digging in my heels. Irrelevant. That's an irrelevant issue you were facing. Think of it this way. It's a speed bump. The shoes are digging into my heels. I have to switch into more biking. Now I have to bike extra until I can fix the heel problem. What's the heel problem? I need new inserts. How long is it going to take inserts? Well, if they're $20-$30, probably will be arriving here in the next week or so. Until then, I have to do extra on the bike only. It's fine. Maybe this is how it's meant to be. I have to do more on the bike until I lose an extra 50 pounds, maybe get lighter, feel better. My bones and my everything doesn't hurt as much when I'm walking because I'm lighter weight. Fine. It's all like opportunities in disguise. You took the shoes not, doing a good job on your heels because they got worn out as completely derailing yourself. And then, unfortunately for you, your watch broke, the screen on your watch or whatever it was. So now...
It was my phone.
Oh, the phone. So you couldn't post. Yeah, okay. So the screen on your phone breaks, which adds to the stress. So you experienced already a down moment when your shoes failed on you. Now you added the fact that you can't prove what you're doing. And then you let that completely derail you. And then you did this for longer than it takes about 3 days to start a new bad habit. And so, which is not doing anything at all. So the first day, the excuse is, it's fine, I'll fix this and I'll go. Then and then the next day comes, and then the next day, and then the next week, and then the next month. And all of a sudden you're like, oh God, I haven't done this in so long. You psychologically shut off even the thought of starting again. You'll go, I'll start one day. Oh, that 1 week, I was so perfect. Oh, you keep reliving that moment for the fumes of the dopamine that you're feeling. You cannot live in the past. Simply use it as an example moving forward for the future. So in the present, today, you should be looking at the fact that I managed 1 week perfect eating, 10 kilometers every single day. How do I replicate that? What was it that stopped me? What was I feeling emotionally, psychologically? Why was I feeling down, and why did I let it derail me? Answer these questions and ask yourself the why am I doing this? It's not for the group. That's one answer. Okay. But why? What is the why? Why do I want to lose weight? Why do I want to feel better? Why do I want to start a business? Why? If you don't have this why crystallized clearly in your mind, you'll fail on your journey because all external pressures will crush your dream. Unless the why is so strong, it overpowers everything around you. That's one of the keys to all of this shit, guys. Why do you do what you do? If the answer isn't overpowering the reality around you, you will fail on the path you're on. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So when I say like, why do you want to lose weight? You have to reach down in a dark fucking place and be honest with yourself. I'm tired of being a fat. I'm tired of feeling disgusting, looking in the mirror. I'm sick of not having attention from women. I'm fucking over the life I have. You have to get dark with it because the feelings it needs to elicit need to be real. You use pain to propel you forward every day. This is what men do. Once you crystallize the strong why and you're able to pull the energy every day, when you wake up and you feel like shit, immediately your brain will go back to, why the fuck am I getting up to go do 10 kilometers? You should be looking in the mirror automatically because I cannot stand looking like this one more fucking day. That's really all some of your motivation has to be. Disgust, anger, resenting how you look, whatever it is. You could use negative emotions. But if you wake up and you go, just 10 kilometers every day, eating clean because of the group, and we're checking in, and it feels great to be on like a 10-day streak, 7-day streak. I checked in, and this other guy hasn't checked in, he fell off, and I'm still doing good. Your motivation will wane, because the moment I take away your phone, you're fucked, just like you were in your moment. You see that the little competitive you had in you, the competitiveness was great. It was pushing you. But when you take away all external factors and the battle is all within, just Caleb versus Caleb, you fell apart, because that's not what you were using in the beginning. So this is when I tell guys, go ahead.
So I talked about this with him yesterday, and he's Caleb, you're so much a people pleaser. And you don't feel like you're worthy. This is a perfect example of what I was talking about yesterday, where when was the last time you did something for yourself? So if you're saying that you stopped doing this stuff because you couldn't post it because you didn't have proof, Bo was just saying. I mean, I'm just bringing it up because this is kind of what I was getting to yesterday with you.
If I can add to that too. So Caleb, number one, thank you for doing the walk. It's for you though, not for us. Number two, your phone broke. I can't stress this enough, man. YouTube. Look up how to fix your iPhone, order the part on Amazon. You want to do parts repair? I mean, it's a no-brainer. You'll figure this out.
I went in depth on trying to do that. Buying a replacement screen for the phone costs the exact same as buying the same model again.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Use a lower end.
To sell your phone. I would still do it, just the exercise of knowing how to do it. You did it. You want to get in repair work, buy the replacement, fix it, sell it. But, just don't let this opportunity go. I mean, this is something you said you want to get into. This should be a no-brainer. This should be, this is stuff I want to do. I need to learn how to fix an iPhone, whatever it is.
Yeah, but the more pressing,
Go
ahead.
Also, I wanted to add, so Caleb, even though you weren't posting, I could hear it in your voice. I could hear it in your personality in all the Zoom calls. I could tell the difference. I knew you weren't doing anything, even if you weren't posting it.
Yeah,
so it does change you mentally, like Bo was saying.
How are you feeling now after the walk yesterday? Are you going to go on your walk today?
Yeah.
Or bike? Because you could completely get rid of walking, honestly, if you're going to bike like a fucking madman. If you're going to do multiple hours on the bike, put towels under you, go get biking pants if you need with the padding. I don't know what it is, but the mentality has to be, if I want it bad enough, nothing can stop me. Like you have to eliminate a way out of your brain. My fucking shoes, they failed on me. I can't walk. Bullshit. Yes, you can. You can go barefoot if you fucking want it bad enough. If you really wanted it bad enough. Yeah, it's a decision. My bike, it's in my room and it kind of hurts my ass sitting on that hard ass seat. Okay, buy a better fucking seat then. Okay, because the why isn't strong enough. Are you content looking in the mirror? Are you content breathing heavy? Are you content with the heart rate you have just resting? Are you content the health that awaits you in the next decade? Are you okay with what will end up being your life in the next 10 years, right? Does it elicit an emotional response? Dude, you lived, by all measures, a pretty, don't want to say soft, but you've had a sheltered, quiet, pretty much basically everything you could have in life in terms of the basics, shelter, food, all that stuff. Like, life isn't hard compared to some kid coming in there from a war-torn country or has experienced extreme highs and lows, like being abused in some way, beat by an alcoholic father, like to the point where he's sent to hospital, blah, 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 blah. Everybody has their problems growing up, but you're like, emotional band of trauma, it's pretty consistent in life. Nothing too crazy. We've dealt with some hard shit and, but for the majority, it's, you've been nice, quiet, middle America life, right? So maybe you're lacking some of that urgency because you haven't felt that extreme of how bad things can get. Life has been pretty consistent. We're chilling with grandparents. Don't really have a kick in the ass to get out of the house. You know what I mean? Like, I could technically waste away here and keep mooching if I wanted to, right? The urgency isn't there. You have to create it in your mind. And that's asking the why. And that's really beating yourself up. I hate to say this because we all want to be super fucking positive all the time. Like, yeah, pat yourself on the back. Psychologically, bro, good job. Good job. What? Motherfucker, look how much you weigh. Look how unhealthy you're about to be. You're going to end up on pharmaceuticals if you don't change shit. You think this is normal? Is this who you want to be defined as? What happens if you died tomorrow? Are you okay where you're at in life? You have to ask hard questions that are emotionally painful because nothing else will help you move. I'm this way personally. I don't know any man either that talks to them. I'm sorry, guys, but this motivation shit, I don't know any dude personally that's achieved crazy shit in life that doesn't have a demon in them, that just spews very negative realities onto them. like that propels them forward. When they look in the mirror, there's a voice that tells them they're not good enough. This isn't good enough. You're going to fail if you don't do something more. You have no backup. Nobody's going to come save you. You're all alone. There is no toe dipping in life. It's all, you have to go all in. You have to work hard. Why? Because what was the past like, or what will the future look like if you don't take action? You have to scare yourself into moving forward. You can't sit there and just like, that's okay. Like for example, congratulations. You did whatever the fuck walk you did yesterday. Good job, bro. Happy for you, truly. But that was one fucking walk. Today, you should be rearing to go for the next one. Are your shoes ready, clothes ready? How many are you going to do today? I don't care to see the fucking post on school. It may make you feel better, but how are you going to feel about not doing the walk? What promise to yourself are you breaking? Do you hate yourself that much? Do you want to be the same guy that you've always been? Or are you looking for a change? If you're in this group, you're looking for a change, but you have to be real with yourself. I know the guys are being supportive, but at the same time, we can't coddle you with support. Like, thank you for doing this. Like, that's good. Good story, bro. When the fuck are you going to get moving? Time's running out. Every day is a day you're never getting back. And I'm not saying this to like jump down your throat, but this is just applied generally to everybody. This is how I speak to myself. For example, I have a very strict schedule from 6:30 to 6:30. I'm supposed to be waking up at 6:30 on the dot, and I don't stop fucking moving until 6:30 in the afternoon. The rest of the time is dedicated to my woman, so I can actually be present in my own relationship. Apart from that, it's all go and work. Well, guess what? It's so fucking strict that even I've made my schedule too hard on myself that even if I get a half night's sleep where it's somewhat shitty because the pillow, this or that, whatever I'm dealing with, I don't feel rested. It could throw me off and that the rest of my day is fucked up. For example, today I feel like I'm failing because I couldn't adhere to my own schedule. I woke up an hour late because I didn't get good sleep last night. Then I wasn't able to record the episodes in the time frame I was supposed to. I still have not gone to the gym. I'm supposed to be in the gym for 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 11. It is now 5:30 my time with you guys, and I have to go at night. I have to completely rearrange my entire schedule just to barely keep up. This is me failing. But I could have ended. I had a call with a guy that was the same problem. High earning dude, owned his own business. He made a similar schedule. He completely stopped going to the gym because he didn't make it one fucking day on the allotted time he had. Felt like a complete failure. Similar situation you dealt with, and had derailed him completely from working out. Because his day, he said, started off negative, and he doesn't want his day to start off negative. So he might as well not go to the fucking gym if he's not able to dedicate the time. The dude had all the time in the world. He just put undue pressure upon himself, negative pressure. And I told him to reframe the same way I'm doing it. I'm not looking at myself as a complete failure. I have failed the schedule I set out, so I will change the schedule. I won't not go to the gym. I will go later. As long as all the checks are completed at the end of the day, I still succeeded. I may have failed in going to the gym at the allotted time. You may have failed going on your walk because the shoes fucked up, but you could have instead supplemented with extra hour of biking. You would have gotten the same result, calorie expenditure, and you would have still felt good and made progress. I'll still go at the gym. It will be hours later at the end of the day, but I'll still complete everything. I simply hit a roadblock. But if I allow myself to just completely sit and wallow the failure, if I define myself by my failures, I'm a failure instead of I failed at doing this simple thing. It's a mind game. It's meaningless that your shoes fucked up. Big deal. Get on the bike. It's meaningless that your back hurts. Big deal. You're moving. It's meaningless that your knee or your elbow or shoulder. Big fucking deal. I couldn't sleep well. Big fucking deal. That's life. I can't look at it and bitch. I can't go to the gym today. I can't do the call with the guys today. My fucking sleep schedule's like shit. I need to get extra hours of sleep. Woe is me, bro. Who gives a fuck? Today will keep on going, whether I decide to do what I need to or not. Tomorrow will come. It's guaranteed. Will I rise and take advantage, seize the day, or will I bitch out? I didn't sleep well 2 days in a row now. I haven't slept well in like fucking 3 weeks because this mattress is shit. I'm still figuring out problems with pillows. Yet every day I do what I have to do. Why? Because I use the why. Why am I doing this? What is the point in all this? Why? My why is stronger than my sleep. My why is more important than my shitty pillow, than missing the gym at 9 a.m. and feeling like a failure and all this stuff. My why is overshadowing every single fucking thing so that nothing stops me. I could get bad news about anything and everything right now. Who gives a fuck? After this call, I'm going to the gym because my why matters to me more than anything else. So nothing can stop me. This is why it's important for the why. Secondary is how you see failure. You're not a failure yourself. You failed at something, which is an opportunity to fix it and be successful again. You've already succeeded majorly compared to who you were when we first met, and you were fucking playing video games, the equivalent of a part-time job, and we made you break your fucking PlayStation on camera. Massive transformation happened there. Massive transformation. You jumped multiple levels up above by going on the walk. 10 kilometers is fucking huge. Okay, you're building on momentum. Why don't you remember these things when the times get tough and you may have an obstacle? My shoes fucked up. That's fine. I come a long way. Holy shit, 10 kilometers a week straight. I've been eating clean. I can't believe I took a sledgehammer to my PlayStation. That's fucking wild. Cool story. I'll get new shoes or something. I guess I'll have to bike more. Oh well, can't stop me. I've come too far. I've done too much. I've changed too much. You have to be mindful of this shit. Remember your wins, man. That's part of the shit in the book too. Remembering the wins when you need them for motivation, because losses will come along the way. It's a normal part of the process. You thought you were going to walk on those shoes for fucking 800 kilometers and they'll never fail. Everything's going to be perfect. And then you'll buy a pair years from now and spend another 200. Like you really, how do you expect the journey to go? Perfectly smooth, everything paved for you? Someone holds your hand? Of course not, dude. That's life. Shoes are going to fuck up. Bike may break. You know, shit, you might get a cold. It'll be raining outside, snowing. Shit will happen forever. Forever. That's life.
I have to, after every trail, downhill trail, I have to do a lot of maintenance on the bike just to keep it going. They're not indestructible, whatever you may see on the videos. They do require lots of maintenance and lots of parts placed. Building on what Bo said earlier, get the hell out of your fucking comfort zone, dude. I can't emphasize that enough.
May I interject too, Rick? Matthew, say something?
Jump in.
This is Anthony. Yeah. Oh, good. Thank you. So, Bo, I agree completely on what you just said. I think those are a lot of words and I think something too that unless Caleb starts saying what you're saying, it means nothing. Like when you explain something and I ask people to explain it back to me to see if they understand, if he's not repeating what you're saying or actually giving his own examples, then this is just a waste of time. Yeah. And then the other part on the dark side too, I used to train in the self-defense martial arts and we would train specifically, you need to go in that dark side. I live a very comfortable life. I'm always, looking, I always do my surveillance searching. I'm always like Secret Service. I'm always looking around, but we would train ourselves to go into this part of ourselves that you don't normally have, but we all have it, that primal part where if you're faced in a life or death situation, how do you turn that switch on? And it's something that, most of us, 99% of the time, we don't ever touch. Yeah. And then Caleb, as much as I like you as a person, like we just spent how much just talking about your problems. And then the guy, I'm like at the point now where I just don't care anymore. It's up for you to prove yourself, to be a man, to step up, because we are wallowing in your pity. And I'm ready to just like log off because I can't hear this anymore. Either you start improving, taking action and bringing like stories to us, because to me, it's extremely unattractive. I'm over it. I want to see success. I want to hear success. I don't want to wallow in pity. And you're too young to be such a puss. You got to start stepping it up, or just, I don't even want to hear them. I'll just log off if I start hearing more stories about your problem. This is not a therapy session. I'm not a woman. I don't want to hear about this bullshit. I want to hear about positive stuff to move forward. I kicked ass today. I nailed it. I slayed whatever it is. I want motivation. I don't want your bullshit anymore. And I've only been here a few times and I'm already over.
Yeah. You have a defeat mindset when you talk like, so my shoes and, my phone, like I could hear it. It's in the way you speak. Like you've defeated yourself mentally. There's what's that book? The Book of Five Rings. What's his name? Musashi Miyamoto something. And he says, careful how you speak about yourself. The warrior within hears everything. And it's like negative self-talk. If you beat yourself down, absolutely will affect your deepest part of yourself. So you're framing. You have a problem fundamentally with how you frame failure in your head, and that you lament in it and wallow in it and you let it stick to you instead of letting it roll off your shoulders. Like that's probably one of the things you need to meditate on and honestly journal about and catch yourself doing in the moment as it's happening, because it's something you do automatically now because it's just instilled in, it's programming from maybe your family does this automatically, right? So this is how you're used to thinking. Your train of thought is very negative in that sense. So you're beating up the warrior within all the time instead of looking at things positively. Like, oh, my shoes fucked up. Damn, I must have been getting crazy mileage. Holy shit. I'm putting in work. My shoes are already worn out. You know, like you didn't derive anything positive from that. It was a complete negative experience. And then you beat yourself up and you're like, oh, well, I can't walk anymore. Fuck, I can't post anymore. What's the use? And, you know, it's like, bro, it all starts in between your ears. Yeah.
Just remembering back to the situation, it's like, initially I was like, fuck, these shoes were $200. I must have been walking a shit ton in them. But then I was like, okay, I'll just go in, use fucking shoe goo or whatever, block up the back end, and then it'd be all right. So I went into my grandfather and I was like, hey, where's the shoe goo so I can go ahead and patch my shoes? He's like, oh, you need to patch your shoes? Let me take a look. And then I don't know. I'm not going to try to push my problem onto him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like it initially it was, like, fuck, this sucks. And then immediately was like, damn, I did that to those shoes. And then immediately went back to defeatist after.
Mm-hmm.
But bare minimum, I just ordered Heel Insert for the shoes. They were like $8 for like a pair of 4 of them.
There you go.
And so that'll last me until those wear out. And then I have another pair after that. I have re-downloaded the app for the bike, so I'll be able to get that as well.
Yeah, but remember, dude, find out the why. Like, we're pushing you in this direction, so it's a bit similar starting off how it was last time. We're getting on your ass. But if you can't get energy from the cauldron inside, you'll burn out by yourself always, right? Like, you have to be a self-motivator. It's a weird fucking word, self-motivator. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is self-motivated, but really what they're saying is like become a self-starter. Like, everything you do has to be starting from you. You're the starting point of everything. If you're doing it just for us, just for something external, a woman or whatever the fuck it is, it'll never have the lasting power you need to get through the hard times. Like, I could repeat this shit all day, but unless you get off this call and you look in the mirror, bro, shirt off, and just fucking be disgusted, you got to elicit some shit that will absolutely fire you up every day. I'm sorry, but if you don't get on here and just be like,
you're right. Don't be sorry.
Guess
you're
what?
right.
Yeah. Just be like, Bo, you have no idea how fucking disgusted I am with myself today. I just did 12 kilometers. I did an extra 2 just because how I fucking felt in the mirror looking there. And be like, oh, and today, guess what? I'm not done, because after the call, go do another 5. My legs are still sore. I don't give a fuck. I hate feeling like this. And I'll do this every day.
That's what I was doing with my dog walks. If I missed a day, I just doubled it. You could see it in all the posts. The dog was gone for a month, so I just haven't got back. I just did it for extra steps. It wasn't necessarily like my fitness plan.
Yeah, stop being soft on yourself psychologically, dude. Enough. Yeah, enough of the pity.
So I posted those pics for you there.
Okay.
The first one was when I first got back. You can see the chunk of meat flap hanging off there. And then that was today on the bottom one.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Start getting... Go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say about your fear of failure. I mean, I agree completely with anybody who's successful. There is that fear, and they all hide it. And I said yesterday as well, but after you left for food, I said everybody's afraid in some shape or form. If they say they're not, then they're lying.
Yeah.
And the moment you realize
100%.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, Caleb, be afraid to fail. Like, it's going to motivate you. Be afraid to be a loser. Be afraid that you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. You know, what are you going to do to change that path?
Yeah, I deal with fear all the time.
For the past like 2 years, I've been constantly saying like it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to quit. It's okay to fail. It's not okay to quit. But it's like
gay. Sounds gay as fuck.
But it's like I can't get that fucking mindset in there, and like I know I can. I don't know.
Man, just look in the mirror and do like me every day. Even though I'm losing weight, I always call myself a fat piece of shit. I'm always gonna be lonely. I'm not gonna have anything done great with my life. You just gotta keep on saying that to yourself every morning, especially when you find it hard or difficult to keep on going day after day.
Mm-hmm. You have to be real with yourself. And the fear is normal. I have fear all the time. I have doubt about what I'm doing all the time, but I push past it because the alternative is worse. I'm my own worst critic, like I told you guys. I'm the worst person to myself in this entire planet. Nobody can speak to me in a way that will demotivate me, demoralize me in a way that I do to myself. Nobody compares. I'll look in the mirror if I don't go to the gym and I'll see nothing but a weak bitch who doesn't deserve anything he has, pathetic, posing. Who are you to talk to people and help them in life? I'll say all the worst things you could possibly imagine. And that's exactly the thing I use to make sure I do what I have to do. I cannot be that guy. I can't. I refuse. I'd rather die than be the fake. I'd rather die than not be the guy that leads by example, than having to do everything he has to do, only if it feels good. No, bro. The difference is you have to do this shit when you don't feel anything for it at all. You think I'm motivated to go to gym now this late? You think I'm going to feel anything or have a great workout? I'm fucking exhausted. Who gives a shit? I'm going to take a caffeine pill and I'm going to crush it for the next couple of hours. And that'll be another day where I'm slogging through shitty fucking circumstances. Why? Because the alternative, I can't be a bitch. I have to lead by example. What kind of a fucking man am I if I can't go to the gym and get this done? Don't do everything I have to do. Eat clean. Be on the call with the guy. How fucking pathetic. What's going to happen when life gets really hard? What if I get a message about a death in the family? What if I have to step up and provide for somebody financially? My mom becomes a widow, something like that. Who knows? Hard days are coming. Count your blessings that life is easy now, motherfucker. Because now is when you need to get up off your ass and do something when things are stable. Imagine how much more difficult all this shit's going to be when the hard times hit you. Because that's what life taught me. It's all okay. It's all fun and dandy when shit's stable and going well. But when the shit hits the fan in life, and inevitably it will, that's when you're going to get tested. Now, you're going to need some positive fucking habits in you to withstand the negativity that's coming. It's going to get harder. It will be difficult. I'll guarantee you this. Wait until someone in your family passes away. Wait until something happens where you have to step up and be a man and provide. What? That day is coming, Caleb. You don't think about that fucking day? You have to think about shit like this, bro. The worst case scenario is already happening. You're moving one day closer to it. Are you prepared for that day? That's how I think about it for me. Dude, I'm going to get some bad news about something. Something's going to happen. I'm going to lose something. Every single time I've had a high in my life, it was followed by a major fucking low. I've been stressed and stretched to my absolute fucking limits. When I think I'm riding high, I get hit all the way down. Life humbled me. I know that the wins are temporary and the fucking worst of the worst times are always above, right there on the horizon. They're coming. So now I just prepare.
Can I interject real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
The best time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me because I was on and off trying to lose weight and shit like that all the time, but I stopped doing it. I kept on taking days off, and like after my grandfather passed last year, which he was like a father figure to me, I felt like complete shit not committing and telling him that I was going to lose weight, telling him I was going to be a better person, and I just quit. And after he died, I looked in the mirror and I was like, damn, man. So now the weight loss is pretty much motivation because I want him to look up and see how great of a man I'm becoming. And I just hope it doesn't happen to you, lost in the family, to self-realize how much of a failure I was.
Yeah.
I'm in a extremely similar situation with my grandfather.
There you go.
Where he's been my father figure, so.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes disappointing others is the energy you need to get you going forward. Have you told them that you're losing weight, trying to lose weight, all that? Was he encouraging it? What if you lose them in a week, 2 weeks? Who knows, man, how life works. Are you going to want him to remember you you did some shit for a month or two? Once they're gone for good. You have to make it painful and you have to make it real.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because it seems like he constantly is both trying to motivate me to and doing everything in his power to demotivate me at the exact same time.
So explain the demotivation then. What is he doing?
Well, I know he's just at any time that some other variable comes into the equation or something like that, like, oh, it's gonna rain, or oh, it's this hot, or it's gonna get this hot, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, it's gonna get fucking 90 degrees. You gotta be messed up, but still gotta do it anyway. And like, I'd rather him just not fucking tell me.
Why are you letting that affect you? If he says that, then that's your chance to be a man and lead by example. Hey, Dad, it was 95, 100 fucking degrees today and humid as shit. Or Gramps, and then go out there and do what the fuck you have to do. Why don't you just rebut back with, oh, it's 95? Excellent. I'm going to sweat extra and burn way more calories. Perfect. Oh, it's raining today? Excellent. More miserable. That'll help me callous my mind. Why don't you show him? Those are opportunities for you to show you're a fucking man. Why are you letting it again? Beating you up. A little comment of like, oh, it's 95 today, Caleb. Wow, it's hot. And instead of going, yep, I can't wait. I'm going to be sweating extra. And you know how much your old man would smile just seeing that? Like, wow, this kid's got something in him special. He's not letting shit stop him. Instead, you're getting derailed by a comment of how hot it is. Who gives a fuck what the weather's like? Let him comment that shit. Excellent. Oh, it's raining, freezing today? Beautiful. I can't wait. It's going to suck. The misery is what I'm looking for. I have to build myself into a man. And show them. Again, it's mentality, bro. It's the way you look at things. I love it when people tell me shit like that. My own parents are similar to that. They used to be like, oh my God, you're really going to go run 10 miles and doing this in the West? It's so hot. It's so humid. It's so cold. But it's raining. And I go, but that's fucking amazing, isn't it? I'm going to go do extra just because you told me that. So every single time you tell me that, I'm just going to do extra. And they stopped talking to me that way. They literally were like, this kid's insane. They were literally watching me and going, he's insane.
That's kind of what my grandfather did to me. He'd ask me to go out and do something, and then I would go out and do it. And then he'd be like, oh, is that the best you could do? So it turned into a psychological game of anytime he asked me to do something, I would just automatically go above and beyond just to shut him up so I didn't get questioned afterwards about how I didn't do it better than.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about success stories? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So Caleb, I can't stress this enough. I'm a very analytical person, but I taught myself how to turn it off so many times because thinking is just a waste of energy. And like, I think what Bo was saying too about men are action. We have to execute. We need to do things, and just living in our heads and thinking about the possibilities is not being a man. And you'll feel that as you just start doing things, whether they go down the right path or the wrong path, at least you've chosen a path, you've taken a step. And I can't stress that enough. Just do something. If it ends in failure, you at least know you tried, and you can, and then you can keep pushing forward like a zigzag path. But if you don't even have a path, if you're just stuck, you're not even moving. And part of us, like all learning from our life experiences, is that we have all these zigzags, and then we adjust, we adapt, and hopefully we choose a better path going forward. But if staying in place and overthinking, you're becoming your own prisoner. You are doing harm to yourself. And who cares what anybody else is saying to you? You are the one who's creating this prison inside you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you're not actually living.
No, you're not. You're not. I'd rather be poor in the slums of Manila, living with these people, just living and making a meager existence, day by day, and communicating and talking to all these people and just having some type of social life. Yeah, they're so much happier. You'd see that, like, I send videos, whatever it is, these poor people living in slums, but they're smiling, they're happy. And here's us, this mental masturbation.
Wasting away.
An hour. Yeah, and these people have no luxury to think about this bullshit. They got to survive, and yet there's so much.
That's why you feel like shit. That's why you feel like shit, because you're not living. You're literally just dying.
Yeah, bro, you're wasting away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at the way we treat dogs here in the U.S. Like, my wife comes here from a foreign country, and she sees the dogs here. They treat them like kids, even better than kids. And the dogs here are crazy because most of the world treats dogs like dogs. They put them outside, or they're not babying them, and they're not putting them in carriages. And here, the dogs have, like the dog whisperer, Cesar Romero, would say the same thing. He's from Mexico. He said, if they come here, the dogs here all have, mental issues. And it's insane here.
You got to let them out to do those zoomies, man. They go bonkers. They start tearing up your shit.
A tired dog is a good dog, bro. That's a man, too. Tired men are happy. Yeah.
And
I just wanted to...
You go ahead. Yeah, sorry, go.
So kind of building up on, you said you wanted to hear success stories, and somewhere along the line it triggered it into my head when Bo was saying something. But so I'm also in a trading group, and I met this guy. So we went to Vegas back in July, of course, during the hottest time of the ever on record. And I met this guy who was a completely just overboard alcoholic before he got his shit together. I think we were talking about like rock bottom, like something happens in your life. I think you were saying about grandfather or something dying and then not living up to a promise you made or something. So he was in radio, and he hung out with all these like famous people and stuff. And so he was constantly given alcohol, and he thought he was functional. And one day he stopped drinking for a day, ended up going into withdrawals, and had a seizure and crashed his car. And he ended up obviously in the hospital. They pretty much told him he had a few weeks to live because his liver was so fried. He did. I think he said that they took 2 liters of fluid off of him over the course of like a few days. Like, I don't know if you know anything about medical shit, but that's an insane amount of bad stuff. And he felt like a complete piece of crap because he was in the hospital for a few months. And in that time, his father died, and he couldn't be there for him. And that's when he decided like he wasn't going to drink ever again, and has actually gotten his life back together over the course of the last few years. I just wanted to share that story. It was very motivating for me, and it was good to hear. It was good to see the results in like real life, because he's a really cool guy. I'm really happy for him that he's actually got his shit together.
If I can say something to Caleb again, too, this is, I think, Caleb, your perfect opportunity to just join the military. do your 4 years, but to put you through boot camp where it breaks you down, right? And it builds you back up, you're like the perfect candidate in my book. And they just, no more thinking. You just do as you're told, right? They make you the man they want you to be. Not that I always agree with the things, but that's something that I could see being just perfect for that. Someone just to kick your ass for like 8 weeks of boot camp and totally obliterate you. You're not even thinking. You just do as you're told.
Yeah.
Even if you had a boot camp around you, just like like a phys ed boot camp, they've got those fitness places that do those boot camp things where you just move, man. You don't question, you don't think.
You also have to kind of look at your grandparents and how they enable your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And is that really to your benefit or theirs? And that's kind of what I was getting at yesterday with you, because I do remember talking to you about possibly working here at the company I'm at. And I remember what you told me. Their first reaction was, no, we're very opposed to it.
Oh, interesting.
But if you had done it,
thought about it. Yeah. Wow.
You'd be making a shit ton of money right now. Like, you wouldn't have to worry about money for probably a few years after a few years of work.
Wow. My wife wanted to be a flight attendant, and her mother was always against her doing anything that might be somewhat dangerous or somewhat outside of, her control. And my wife suffered that for years, and it's terrible.
Wow. Hold on. So you had a job offered for him ready to rock, and he declined it because what his grandparents were thinking about it?
It was multiple factors, but that was a big factor. I remember.
Yeah. Okay. So you had, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah, go.
But so the job requires discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So the more we started talking, the more the job, basically all your bad habits will just get amplified. So if you don't have a structure to begin with, or if you don't have discipline to begin with, it's just going to amplify all your terrible habits.
Okay.
So that was another reason. I just remember the grandparents wasn't the only factor, but I do remember that factor. And so that was the big factor.
Like, cause I had something kind of a Hail Mary
pass. Because you were super, he was super excited about it too. Again, Caleb, going into your super logical train of thought was, planning out the next 10 years of his life. And he was actually super excited about it. And somewhere along that timeline, it just disappeared.
Yeah, he mentioned it to his grandparents and they shit on him, and then he just shit on himself. That's exactly what happened. Like, my grandparents don't approve should be the furthest fucking thing from you making a decision that alters your life that could possibly be. Like, I couldn't imagine. I did something similar when I moved to California. My friend called. He was the one I played video games with professionally, and we met at an event. Imagine me, right? This is high school me. And wasting away, similar to Caleb, fucking not doing shit, mooching off my parents. And my friend calls me that I saw one time at a video game tournament, and I told him I'm actually been training for the Navy SEALs, and I'm about to sign my fucking life away. And I was already doing, I was running 5 miles a day. I was already doing my 120 push-ups in a lot of time and all this shit. I had all my stats ready to go. I was just going to sign, get shipped out. Hopefully I fucking go through Hell Week and I pass and I don't end up peeling paint off a fucking boat, and drop out. And right before about to go sign my life away, my friend calls me randomly out of the blue, and he goes, what have you been doing, bro? I haven't talked to you in a while. You don't fucking game anymore, nothing. I haven't been playing games at all. Was just strictly focused on this, hyper-focused. And he goes, fuck that, dude. Don't sign your life away. Come here, go to college. It'll feed you into like UCLA, UC Berkeley, guaranteed. You just have to get good grades, blah, blah, blah. And I go, you know what? That actually sounds like a crazy idea, coupled with the fact that my parents got freaked out too, and they had a whole intervention. But mostly, I was thrown an opportunity to live with him, didn't have to worry about rent until I got a job. He was willing to help me out with a place to stay and help me get my license and all that stuff, apply for school because he's already going there. So I go, holy shit, I have a guaranteed in. As long as I go and do what I have to do, I already have a way in to change my life. So I literally, I had 2 weeks to leave, and I just, after the phone call, I literally went upstairs and I told my parents, guess what? Because we had literally the conversation of what do you want to do with your life? And I was telling them the same thing, don't really know. I kind of feel like doing this, maybe that. This is what I've been thinking about. It's all bullshit. And then I literally went up there after the call and I go, hey, you know what? In 2 weeks, I'm leaving. And they go, where are you going? And I said, California. Mind you, I lived in Atlanta, Georgia with them, the only son. Can you imagine how they took that news? By the way, I'm leaving in 2 weeks. And they go, what the fuck? Where did this come from? You were just talking about the Navy and all this stuff, and now you're going to school in California. I was like, yeah, and that's exactly what you wanted too, right? You said you'd rather me go to school. Cool, well, I'm leaving. And I have to get far away from all of you because my life has to change. You can't be in it. I have to become a man now.
When you told them, how did you feel at the moment?
I felt like I was finally taking control of my life and becoming something. That's what it feels like, Caleb, when you do that. Stop defaulting to them. That's your little umbrella, your shield. They protect you from everything. You should have taken Richard, if he still can, take him up on the offer and leave. You just go in the living room and say, you know what, guys? This is what I'm going to do with my life. And there is no plan B. I can't fail, and I'm not coming back with my tail between my legs. So even all that other shit is bullshit. Oh, if it amplifies all your bad, who gives a fuck? You have no choice. You have to step up and succeed. There is no, my bad habit's this. There's no more bailouts. The job is offered. Your opportunity is golden. Walk through the fucking door. Go in there and tell your family, dude, think about this shit for the next couple of days. It's not something they get to decide. This is your life. And goodbye. You're either going to support me or you're not.
And this is what we were talking about with you yesterday. When was the last time you did for you?
Mm-hmm.
Something selfish in your mind.
Yeah.
Because I get the impression that's how you would view it, that you're just being selfish.
And imagine you make that money, you can actually help them now instead of mooching. Like, bro, there's no way you can sell yourself out of this fucking idea unless you listen to everybody else in the family that are scared to see you go because they look at you as a weak fuck. You're a little boy in their eyes. You're a fucking man. You're 24. Leave the house already. It's about time. They'll respect you for it. They don't want you to leave because it's comfortable having you around. No shit. But they're also holding you back. True. Yeah.
Oh, for real. I mean, like, there are some people even I know I have to stop, like, talking to because they're trying to stop me from leaving. Because, like, probably by next year, like, I'm just working on getting my TEFL certificate so I can start teaching over in Southeast Asia. And I could not deal with people just talking in my ear, just telling me, no, don't go. You don't have to leave. You can just stay here. But I just realized the same thing like Bo was saying, that it's just comfortable. It's just comfortable having me here. And I'm just like, no, I have to go. I'm just like, if you really need to make that choice, you really need to keep everyone just talking. Everyone that's talking in your ear, just keep them out. Any way you can, go on a drive, really sit down with yourself to have that conversation. That's what helps me. Just like, it's too much noise for me when it comes to making my own choices. I know it's too much noise. I need to get away from everyone talking in my ear to make sure I know I'm making a choice that I want to make. Because I can't, I just can't have that.
That's pretty.
And this was brought up yesterday when I said he needs to go on a fucking road trip, disconnect from your comfort zone, like
exactly.
Like you were just said.
Exactly.
So
like,
you're seeing these
in the neighborhood.
So Caleb, you're seeing these repetitive themes. There's something to that.
Yeah. Hey, can I chime in for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
I grew up in Massachusetts, and when I was around Caleb's age, I decided with a girlfriend to move to Oregon. And it was an adventure at that point, and I ended up having a successful life here in Oregon. Now I'm 60, living in a studio apartment in Northwest Portland and absolutely not enjoying living here. So with Bo's help, he hooked me up with the guy on the in the community who lives in Bangkok. And my goal is to move to Bangkok in the beginning of November. So the one thing that you want to keep in mind, in a phrase that's kind of scary, is sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and trust that once you get there, you'll get your feet under you and find support, and you'll be able to craft a new life somewhere else. But it's, getting on the diving board and then jumping is what we have to do. So I worked really hard here. I went all around the United States to try to find somewhere that I felt like I can live here, and I just couldn't. So now I'm going to go to a foreign country at age 60 and see what I can do over there. But you're at a pivotal phase in your age where you can go somewhere and try something different, and you'll be fine. But you just have to take that, decide to yourself, be willing to tell your family, I'm out of here. I got to try something different. And you take that leap and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. If I can add too, it's so easy nowadays. Everything you can find online, you get to Thailand, you can have a translator on your phone. I mean, all this stuff is so easy. It's just getting your ass out of a chair and saying, I want to do it.
Even right now, I've connected with several people. I know that I'm going to have support when I get there, especially with the technology we have now. You can find help so easily.
Yep, exactly. You can book all this online right now. You could leave tomorrow if you wanted to.
Yep. If you enjoyed today's episode and want to be a part of conversations like that, remind you guys again, links are in the description below. We'd be happy to have you. Take care, everybody.